Alright everybody, welcome to episode 246 of Psykos, Platters. Always powered by coffee each and every time, of course. Listen guys, I apologize. The last couple weeks have been kind of really screwy. With a combination of not feeling really well and I got the crud that everybody else kind of got around this area anyway. So I thought I would at least... I thought I'd at least play a catch-up episode. It's going to be another miscellaneous episode. If that's fine with you, that's great. Then watch it. If that isn't fine, I understand. If you just want to just kill it. And the next episode will be the continuation of the 45 episodes that I promised about 3-4 weeks back. I just had a lot of things going. Like I said, I went and did a review on McCartney's album, Egypt Station. If you haven't seen that, go take a look at it. It's only about 7.5 minutes long. Thumbs up from me anyway. Wearing my Ringo shirt. Yes, also Ringo. Right around Labor Day weekend. I wanted to start off with that right away, actually. The show was awesome. It really, really was awesome. If you've never seen Ringo and his all-star band, I highly recommend it, actually. It was 24 songs in the set list. It was right here in town, actually, about a 10-minute drive away from here. I got fifth row center. I should probably put some of that on my Psykos Platters Facebook. For the moment, it's just on my Paul P's Facebook. But I did post a short 3-minute Ringo live mystery clip. If you haven't seen that, then you'll get the idea of how things went. But 13 songs were Ringo, 8 were Beatles, 5 were solo. And then you have on this, I'm told this was the similar lineup for the last 5-6 years, though. You had Steve Lukather from Toto. He ended up doing Hold the Line, Rosanna in Africa, which I'm told actually was a last-minute thing. They weren't going to do Africa on this tour, but of course, being that the whole Weezer cover shot it back up into the charts, they's like, okay, fine. That's what I heard anyway. Greg Raleigh, formerly of Santana and Journey, he didn't do any Journey stuff. He did 3 Santanas. He did Evil Ways, Black Magic Woman, and Oyo Como Va. That was really good. The 2 newbies on the tour for this one here, Graham Gouldman, bass player for 10cc. He ended up doing Dreadlock Holiday, which he admitted he's like, it wasn't a hit in the States, but screw it, I'm going to do it anyway. That's what he said, too. It was okay. I got to admit, that was one of the few hiccups of the 24-song set list. I'm not sure what he could have replaced it with, but I think anything would have been interesting. Rubber Bullets, Donna, I'm Mandy, Come Fly Me, things like that. I'm a big 10cc fan, but I was just like, Dreadlock Holiday, huh? And then Things We Do for Love, and I'm Not in Love. Two songs during that whole concert that I teared up at. I'm Not in Love is one of them. That's got a personal connection to me, honestly, that song. Every time I hear it, it's haunting, it's beautiful. But just to hear that version, too, is pretty cool. And Ringo's doing Photograph. Photograph's always got me. Almost to that point. And then lastly, Colin Hay from Men at Work, lead singer and guitarist. So he ended up doing Overkill, Who Can It Be Now, and Land Down Under. So, excellent show. And then the 2 people that were in the band but would be prominent, Warren Ham. Warren Ham was a multi-instrumentalist and a background singer. He got his start, of course, in Blood Rock back in the 70s. Worked with Kansas, worked with Kerry Livgren in the band A.D., and he's done a bunch of other projects, too. And Greg Bissonette on second drums. He ended up starting out with David Lee Roth in his career. Worked with Vai, worked with Satriani. He did a bunch of stuff. I'm telling you, the musicality of this show really surprised me. Of course, I love Ringo. He was the one doing the 4/4 beat pretty much. But Bissonette on drums, he wailed. Lukather, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, he wailed on guitar. And Raleigh was doing real good, too. But that was the third concert date for the summer tour into fall. So go check them out. Like I said, this is the tour shirt that I got. This was the ticket stub. But I got to tell you this, I was looking around backstage, at the end by the stage, because I was fifth row center. So I hung around, looking for picks, set lists. I didn't think there'd be any drumsticks, and I was right. There wasn't any that was given out or thrown out that I know of. But it turned out that only one person used a pick all night, and it was Steve Lukather. And I'm sitting here, and I'm like, huh. So I looked, and right around his microphone stand on the bass at the bottom, I'm not kidding you, he had a bunch on the mic stand. He used every one of them. None of them flung out, amazingly enough. But lo and behold, I got one. Yes, very small pick. Very small pick, but he used all of these. Ringo on one side and Toto on the other. That's it. That's all it says. But, I mean, that's really cool to have Steve's guitar pick. I was very, very happy on that. So, if you have a chance to go catch Ringo and his all-star band, go do it. You will be very happy and pleased. And it was almost 2 hours. Seriously, almost 2 hours. Let's see, what other miscellaneous? Do you mind if I shift for a second? I said shift. I'm an autograph collector too. Everybody knows that I like getting a lot of signed stuff for my albums and CDs. But I do actually collect autographs in addition. I've got a bunch of different signed books that I have managed to get over the years. A lot of them musicians too. This is one that, no, I didn't get this in person. But I think you people may appreciate it. I ended up befriending somebody in Facebook out in California through a group. And he happened to catch him going out of a restaurant. Who am I talking about? I don't know if you'll be able to see it because of the glare. Mel Brooks. Yes, it's in silver Sharpie. Mel Brooks signed this nice reproduction of a Blazing Saddles lobby card. Okay? I was just very pleased by this. I really wish, honestly, that, of course, that Gene Wilder and everyone else was still alive on this. I want to say that the only one other than Mel Brooks that may still be alive is Cleavon Little. I don't know if he's still around or not. All the rest of them have pretty much passed and died out of this movie. He had Young Frankenstein, but they sold out really quickly because I'd rather have had that. This was my second choice. And then Spaceballs. Mel Brooks likes to go to this particular restaurant in California, I guess weekly. I'm not going to mention the location because I think I found out where it is. It's a Chinese restaurant, that much I'll tell you. But a musician friend of mine said something on Facebook. And I'm going, because this guy here who got this, he's one of those professional autograph collectors. Like your ones, if I don't normally watch TMZ, but what's really funny is when it's on in the break room or I catch it when I'm flipping channels, it's not so much that I really give a shit who the celebrity is that's being profiled. I like to see what their attitude is for the autograph collectors. Half the time, they're actually really nice to the autograph collectors, even the ones that are the professional sellers, like obviously this guy is. But you know what? I'm happy to have this in the collection. It came really nice. He shipped it really well, and it's in, it is bendable plastic, but I mean, it's nicely sealed. I can't get into this thing. I'm thinking about, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe just some really nice adhesive on the back of it, and then put it up. So Mel Brooks, really cool. I'd get him if I were you, if you have a capability. He's in his 90s. He's not getting any younger, that's for sure. How about I show you some CDs that I picked up? Not too many, okay? I'll show you one vinyl. I got more than that, but I'll show you one vinyl that I got in a second. These were all $1 to $2 at Goodwill because I hit the colors. Buddy Guy. I don't get to find Buddy Guy stuff very much. And, but I mean, I will tell you this. I did end up finding, and I'll wear it in a future broadcast, I got a nice Buddy Guy's Legends shirt. Legends is his venue near downtown Chicago. I do remember going in there once. I think it was kind of funny. There wasn't any performances going on, but I was in the old location once during when I went to school in the late 90s. They moved the location since then, and I can't remember the reason why. But I would love to see him perform. I really, really would before he's gone too. Clapton, the complete Clapton. You know what? I'll tell you this, and put this in the comments below if you agree with me or disagree with me about Eric Clapton. He was a really good musician, but it appears to me he was a shithead to people. He really was. I'll explain that in better detail in future episodes, but in a little bit, in a minute here, I'll show you a book too that it seemed to really shine out for him. You can only go off if this is the case, and I'm not trying to be judgmental here, I swear, a lot, but how much of it was the drugs and the booze that made him be the way he was? I know people that when they got sober, they were worse than they were on drugs. I don't know. Like I said, I like Clapton's 60s work, his 70s work. I even liked his 80s work. But, is it me, but the minute that his child died, took the wind out of his sails. And I guess that's justifiable, right? But I mean, there was, Riding with the King, with B.B. King. That was a cool album. The Robert Johnson cover album. He seemed like he was getting back into form. I have not heard the last one or two Clapton albums. If you have, put in the comments, is it worth listening to? I think, what was it, Old Sock is one of them. Some strange titles. But, so Clapton. I don't know what you think about Clapton. Nice Beatles Parlophone, Abbey Road CD. That's always cool. I don't have this one in nice shape. And then this one here, for the life of me, and I guess I probably could pull it out of here to show you, but I haven't done it yet. I found Boston's Greatest Hits still sealed, but there's a guitar pick that was sealed to the front of this package. I have no clue whose the guitar pick this is. I'm kind of afraid to open it, really, but I probably will. Was this, because Boston came a year or two ago to my town, and I'm wondering if this was one of the things that they sold, with the guitar pick and everything, because I've never seen an edition with this. Maybe if somebody could enlighten me in the comments below in regards to that. I ended up getting a free batch of vinyl. Came through actually over the weekend. I forgot about it, and I went back to my work this morning actually. Unfortunately, most of the vinyl was destroyed. Nothing I could do about it. I pulled 145 out of there. Van Halen's Black and Blue. Yeah, I remember buying this 30 years ago off of the album OU812, and it's actually in really nice shape. And the funny part about it is somebody left the 45 spindler in there. So really, really cool to have the Van Hagar 45 in there. Books. Speaking of part of Clapton I brought up earlier, along with a bunch of others, Chris O'Dell's Miss O'Dell. It says here, My Hard Days and Long Nights with the Beatles, the Stones, Bob Dylan, Eric Clapton, and the Women They Loved. Some really interesting stuff in here. Is there some dirt dished out? Yes. But, how do I explain this? I get a little agitated from the author, a little bit, in the reading. And the thing is, I'd love to show you, there were pictures, but unfortunately somebody cut the damn pictures out. So I don't have any pictures to show. But she, in essence, she came to Apple in '68, right around the time that they were recording the White Album, which I'll be talking about that in a minute. And then after the Beatles broke up, she was in George's Universe for a little while, went to the Stones, went and did Crosby, Stills, Nash Young reunion tour, went in, I think, you know, she was in Clapton's world and George Harrison's world a lot, courtesy of Pattie Boyd. And then she'd end up in Ringo's world for a while, courtesy of Maureen Starkey, too. But by the 80s, she was out of this kind of lifestyle. So Miss Odell, I know who I'm going to give that to when everything's all said and done here. Also, I don't know anybody out there that's a big James Taylor fan. Unfortunately, this cuts off at 2002, but it says long ago and far away, James Taylor, His Life and Music. It actually was a pretty interesting read. I fast-forwarded past the first 100 pages because it was all ancient family history that I could care less about. Sorry, I'm just one of those people that just don't like that. So I went into right around the time page 100 is when he's on the Flying Machine, and he before he goes to Apple and everything else into that. So James Taylor. Also, I found these. It says $1 a piece, but I know dang well they were half off, so 50 cents a piece. Could not pass up Rolling Stones Collector Edition. Mick Jagger turned 75, and Life's Mick and Keith turned 75. The Rolling Stones. Here's a nice picture. I like the back of this. This one here, I'll show you. I guess it's all the times, I guess, you know, or some of them when Mick was on Rolling Stone. I love the Stones. I've always loved the Stones. The Stones are working on their next album. They are, because there was a picture of that, and for some reason, Mick, I don't know if it was Mick and Keith or just Mick, this was within the last week, went to Memphis to meet Jerry Lee Lewis at Sun Studios because they were recording something. I don't know what the project is. I want to say they're doing an autobiography of Sam Phillips, and that might be it for that. One other thing I want to talk about, and then I'm going to shut up on all of this. There's a lot of new releases coming out over the next 2 months that I wanted to bring up. Actually, one of them that I tried to find, and I don't know what the deal is, Led Zeppelin. Song remains the same. Remastered again, because it was in '07, but there was 4 extra bonus tracks from the 73 gigs from Madison Square Garden. I actually don't have that on CD, but I do not understand why I cannot seem to damn find it. I think it came out the 7th of September, and I have tried to look around, and I'm getting clueless stuff here. I don't know if they delayed it or whatever have you. In October, Steve Perry with Traces, his first album in 24 years as a solo artist, and 22 since Journey. I've heard a couple tracks. It's ballad heavy. It's a very ballad heavy record, but I'll probably still buy it anyway. I'll be reviewing that too in the future. John Lennon's Imagine comes out in various versions. I'm only going to get the double CD with the extra outtakes. Also Ace Frehley's Spaceman, that comes out too. Followed by, this was the coolest, one of the coolest, because I'm looking forward to that Ace one. But the Monkees, yeah, the Monkees have got a new album. It's a Christmas album. It's called Monkees Christmas Party. Now, saying that, October 12th is when that comes out, but October 19th is when you really want to get it. It appears that it is sold out in pre-order status as of today. Somebody went off on Target.com, because this is a Target exclusive, that if you get it through Target, you get 2 extra songs. Yeah, and same thing for Steve Perry. Target exclusive. You get a few extra songs there too. So I've been heading to Target a lot more now. So much for them getting out of the CD game, huh? But the Monkees one, the 2 extra Target exclusive tracks will be the 1967 Ru Chi, which was on the Monkees broadcast for Christmas episode of 67, and the 1976 song Christmas Is My Time of Year. Christmas Is My Time of Year. That's the one that was Dolenz Jones Torque back in 76 when they cut that as a 45. So those will be the bonus tracks on the Christmas Party album. Now, saying that, I know that Mike definitely is strong on 2 tracks, including a cover of something called Snowfall. And Davey shows up on 2 tracks this time too. Silver Bells being one of them that I'm told was made in 76. I don't know if they're doing a monkey wraparound on that one too, but you know damn well I'll be reviewing that. So lastly, you know, if you're looking forward to any of those releases and ones that I might miss, put that in the comments too. But November, are you looking forward to the remastered, remixed reissue of the Beatles' White Album? I know a lot of people are saying they weren't big Beatles White Album fans to begin with. I don't know. This album has grown on me over the years. I originally got this when I was a kid to be a completist, but I have gone off and listened to this a lot more over the years. And I'm glad, you know, this was kind of a turning point for these guys. It really was, because I'm going to go into greater length when it gets close to the release date. In fact, sometime in October, I will be making, like I did for Sgt. Pepper, I will be making a history of White Album video, which was very, very popular for the Sgt. Pepper. But I will be getting into the White Album too. And we'll be talking about the release date information. I'm kind of excited, at least for the 3 CD. I can't afford the 6. There's no way in hell I can afford that. I heard it's around 129 to 149 is what I've heard for price range. But the 3 CD, I'm told, will be around 30 bucks. So yeah, I'll be a sucker. I don't have that on CD anyway. I've never had it on CD, just on vinyl. So I will plunk down and get the 3 CD edition. I'm told the 3rd CD will be the 1968 Escher demos, which will include other little fun things like Sour Milk Sea, Not Guilty, Circles, a bunch of other ones. The 6 CD one, and it kind of makes me wonder, there was a question mark after this, but supposedly there was a early stab at Let It Be. Now, I don't know how true that is. I could have sworn I remember reading somewhere that Let It Be didn't even get composed till after the White Album, so either maybe somebody got their facts wrong or the memory was slipping a little bit. So I'd be almost kind of curious if that's true, to hear this early stab of Let It Be on the White Album. Who knows, maybe it's radically different. A lot of people are excited on the Escher demos, and like I said, I'm one of them too. For you Beatle fans out there, let me ask you this. Now, the Escher demos are one thing. Ringo ended up giving a copy or some acetate of the White Album to Peter Sellers, which that ended up being booted years later, I guess, after Peter died, called the Peter Sellers tapes. Is this different than the Escher demos? Or is it going to be the same thing? I don't know. I'm trying to see if I can get research on that too. So, White Album coming out in November. Are you excited for this? I actually am. I will be taking a fresh pair of ears into that too. 2 new subs since the last time that I was on. Steve Carlson. Steve Carlson's got a channel on here already, but he finally, you know, he tripped up and got into the Platter network, and I appreciate that, Steve. Along with Johnny Seed, that's C-E-E-D. Both of them are subscribers here to the Psykos Platters, and I appreciate that very much, and I love you guys. I really, really do. We're up to 588. Because when I was gone, I lost some numbers. So we're 1 dozen away from 600 subs. We get to that dozen and get to 600 subs, we'll do a contest. I will do a contest. I already have a question. This question is a little easier, yet harder than what I did for 500. You'll understand when that time comes. Alright guys, like I said, put a couple things in for me under the comments. Looking forward to the White Album, yes or no? If you're gonna, what's it gonna be? Are you a Clapton fan, yes or no? What do you think about him? Music autographs or autographs in general? What's your favorite autograph? Why don't you tell me that one? It doesn't have to be music. I'm curious. I'm all over the place. I like collecting sports autographs, actors' autographs, but mostly music is my strength, followed by sports. Any of that stuff. Let's converse a little bit this time around. Next episode, we'll get back to the 45s, guys. I somehow promise here. Don't hold me to it, though. I love you all. You take care. God bless. Rock on, and see you on the flippy side.